Good night. Good night, St. Martin. Good evening, good morning. Everybody who's listening via the internet around the world, good day to you and welcome to your favorite online internet program, www.sxmtalk.com. Of course, I'm your host, Christopher Emmanuel, and our apologies goes out for the days we was off. The wind blew the internet cable off the wall. Yes, and the thing about it, whenever I don't have internet, I'm in a lot of trouble because I have satellite and the box works with the internet. So you can imagine how those 2-3 days was waiting. We're waiting for the technicians to come, and they didn't. So I had to do some sort of MacGyver work and try to hook it up and stuff myself. So goodness, I have a little knowledge to how it was looking like, and I just put it together and it ended up working. So yes, that's the reason why we was off. We had no internet access, and that's one of the downside with this program. But however, we are here tonight, and I want to welcome each and every one of you guys for being here. Call a friend, call someone, and tell them to log on tonight, because I think the minister is crazy. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Minister Romeo Pantaflet. I was reading the whole newspaper, and it took me some time to digest it. You know, talking about we should own an airline and hotel and this and that and all sort of different things like that. I don't know. It's just my take on it, how I see it. I see it a bit differently. I don't think we should own no airline, nor should we own any hotel. I don't think that's the role of government, you know. But I also going to read, I'm looking down here because I have newspaper, I have about 2 or 3 newspapers in front of me, and I'm turning the pages looking for a story. But I'm also going to read an opinion page article from former Commissioner Michael Ferrier, because not that I'm agreeing with him, right? But I want to show people, how everything on St. Martin is politics and political, and it doesn't serve the country any justice. He may have his point in what he is saying, but I have one thing for Michael Ferrier. I have one thing to tell Michael Ferrier. But I'm going to read the article first, right? I'm looking for the one with the minister, but I can't find that one, right? But the thing about it is this, right? The thing about it is this. The minister is saying that we should own an airline, and you know our hotels are dingy, and you know they're substandard. The quality is low. Customer service is bad. Customer service on the island in general is bad. Okay, for being in the service industry, I think St. Martin have one of the worst customer service, and that is what, and you know, and this is one of the things that I talk about all the time: investing in people. Right? This is what you get when you don't invest in people, when you don't send people for training, when you don't send people on courses, when you don't, you know, reward individuals for good service. This is what you get. You get cheap, nasty, quality service. And this is what you get on St. Martin. Our customer service is very, very, very bad, especially from a lot of the government departments and stuff like that, right? Why I don't think we should own no airline, why I don't think we should own, I don't think government should get into the airline business. And when you look throughout the region, you see when governments own airlines, right? Most of the time it doesn't work. Most of the time it doesn't work. Why? Because of politics. Because of politics, because of the political game, it doesn't work. When one set comes out, another set goes in. They think this should be this way, they think this should be that way, things should change, who getting hired here, who going to be directed here. This is why it doesn't work. The airline industry is a fragile industry. Leave that industry for investors, and that's the role of government. Government ought to make the investors' climate on the island feasible. They ought to make it investor friendly so that investors could want to come and put their monies into this country. Leave an investor come and say, you know what, I want to bring an airline and let St. Martin be the hub of this airline. Give the investor the necessary permits, the necessary tax breaks. Put down your stipulations and your rules in terms of who you must hire, how much you must hire. Locals getting preference first. That's the role of government. That's the role of government. But to want to get into the airline industry, I am not seeing it. I don't think it's profitable for the country. I think competition is too steep for government to dump a lot of money in such an industry. And it is a money swallower. It is a money magnet. It sucks money. It takes a lot of investment to get an airline off of the ground. Next to it, and the same thing goes for a hotel. The same thing goes for a hotel. This is the reason why I am adamant about the expropriation of Mullet Bay. Regardless now that the rubble have been torn down, it have been moved, I just think we should take this property back, okay, from that individual. Ansari have left this island in darkness concerning Mullet Bay for too long. I think he should pay for it. I don't think he deserves such a prime real estate anymore. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. That property should be expropriated. I'm telling you, it's going to raise eyebrows. Eyebrows going to raise, right? When I pass legislation, when I demand, I see my engineer watching me and smiling, that this property be expropriated. And what you do, you attract meaningful, top class, okay, quality, not quantity, you know, but quality brand name hotels where we can get the celebrities want to come to the island. You see, like Atlantis in Bahamas, St. Martin is deserving of something similar to that. Quality, chic, posh. And the prime location for that is Mullet Bay. Stop destroying the environment, covering up the pond and blocking up the roads and putting big, you know, and this is why people get upset when we see things happening in our country and we don't know what it's all about. So that's what I think government should do. Government need to get some balls. Get some balls. We're not supposed to be throwing money into hotels and throwing money into airlines. We need to be throwing money into some schools. A language institute, a culinary art institute. That's what we should be doing here. Every student coming out of high school here in St. Martin should be able to speak English, Spanish, French, and Dutch as basic. A language institute is what should be created here in St. Martin. I've been saying it over and over for years. That's another form of tourism. We keep looking at the same thing. We keep throwing our monies into the same thing. Let us create a language institute on the island. So what you're going to have? You're going to have all these British islands saying, you know what? Every year I'm sending 10 and 15 and 20 students to St. Martin to learn French, to St. Martin to learn Spanish, to St. Martin to learn Dutch. Let St. Martin be the little golden rock for the United Nations and the European Parliament. When they're looking for translators and interpreters, let St. Martin be that place where everybody's saying, hey, St. Martin is a place to go if you want linguists, if you want people with languages, if you want those that can speak 4 and 5 and 6 languages. St. Martin is a place. We need to start investing in people. Oh my goodness. How much longer must I keep saying this over and over and over? But no. Huh? We are already, look at it. This is what has freaked me out because I'm trying to figure out what, and the thing about our leaders know it now. You have children right now. You have people right now on this island. When I say it's natural, English, they speak. Dutch, they speak. French, they speak. Spanish, they speak. Creole, they speak. Papiamento, they speak. Chinese, they speak. I mean, even Arabic, they speak. Huh? Seriously? And nobody is seeing the gold mine that this can bring to St. Martin. Create an institute. Create an institute. St. Martin is going to be the little gem in the world that major corporations and operations would saying, we need to start pumping money in this island because every year they produce hundreds of interpreters, hundreds. I mean, of translators. I can't understand. Invest in people. Invest in the future. Invest in our youth. Invest in the children. Not the FBE nonsense, ridiculous stupidness that is failing our youth. It's failing. And I don't get it understand. I don't get it understand. This is the reason why I say, let us think different. A new breed of intellectual, a new breed of politician, a new group you need that is tired of the same thing over and over and over from every government. The same thing. Why you want to go and invest in planes and hotels? That's not the job of government. It's not government's job. I know you're smoking in a minister. But it didn't sit too well with me. It didn't sit too well with me. And you know, and then the thing about it too, you guys speak as if you got 4 years to work. Listen, election is next year. Government program comes out, and I mean, I understand that yes, you have to speak to the future. But it doesn't sit well with me when I hear these sort of things. Nothing new, nothing inventive, nothing, something I can say, wow, we're moving forward. Nothing. Nothing. And another thing, Prince Bernard Bridge. I ain't see the sign falling down. I don't see the plaque, the inauguration of the bridge. That you only see it leaning on the side. I mean, we our VRUM department be Toncha Bon Camp and all these guys were supposed to be looking at these. I don't see it in a miserable, nasty, horrible state, that sign. Fix it, man. Gosh. I want to read this article, this opinion page article from Michael Ferry. I think it's going to come up here on the screen when he says, letter to the editor, Friday the 18th, January. It says, Minister Pantaflet, you already own an airline. And Michael Ferry goes on to say, in the newspaper of January 17, 2013, Minister Ronnie Pantaflet announces that one of his plans is to establish St. Martin's own airline. I must publicly remind the Honorable Minister that St. Martin already has its own airline. It is clear Winair and the St. Martin government, in which Minister Pantaflet is a very important player, is a 92.05% shareholder. I am sure that I speak on behalf of the present Winair board of directors, the present dynamic Winair management team, and all the 126 proud Winair employees known as Winairians when I say that I am puzzled, to say the least. Last year, the government of St. Martin designated Winair as its national carrier. So maybe the government and or the minister plans to make funds available to grow this airline and simply misspoke. I certainly hope so. Now, I don't want to have to agree with Michael Ferrier, but when I have to or when it's right, I'll say it's right. And I agree with Michael Ferrier 100% with his letter to the editor that he wrote. So I am hoping also that the minister is talking about Winair. I hope that's what he's talking about. Because we own Winair. It belongs to the people of St. Martin. 92%. That gives us a, I don't even have to say the number that it is, right? But I also want to say this on the other hand, right? That Mr. Ferrier, you have been part or board or director or whatever of Winair when your government has been in government for years. And I understand the backing that you're putting behind Winair. But let us not play politics with the Winair issue. And that is what has been happening all the time when government owns airlines. Politics comes into play. And then who suffers? The airline suffers. You see? Because we can't see past a red, a blue, a green, or whatever colors there is, we can't see past it. And not being able to see past it is hurting the country. It's hurting the island. People that say, Christopher, you can't be talking so now because your government is in government. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. What is good is good. What should be good should be good. And it's not criticizing because you want to criticize. It is constructive criticism. I have a difference of opinion. You know, and I see this island as an island that can be much more better than it is. But we get the same, we get the same sort of monorail attitude from governments. Not only is it a one direction attitude, it is also a slow moving attitude. All right? And you expect more. This is the reason why this is the reason why I speak this way about my government, because I expect more and better for them because I know they can. But I also understand the bureaucracy. I also understand the red tape. I also understand the slowness and the lackadaisicalness and the behavior of the governmental apparatus and how it works. I understand that. This is the reason why coalition governments doesn't work. This is the reason why coalition governments are not good for St. Martin. This is the reason why I am asking, and this is my political pitch now, I am asking the people of St. Martin to give us a chance to govern this country on our own. Give us that chance. And if we haven't performed to the way you see it suitable, then you bamblase us. But you want to give the whole pie, but you can't give the whole pie because it already sliced up and diced up. And majority of the people, many of the people don't see the slices being taken place. But when the slices are being taken place and things don't get done, one set of people get blamed. And you have to remind individuals that this is a coalition government that is made up of the National Alliance, that is made up of the Democratic Party, and is made up of 3 independent members. So when you look at it simply, you have 5 political leaders vying and weighing and twisting and turning and tugging and pulling and discussions going on and who won this and how this should go and why this should go so. And in the meantime, the island is being pulled sluggishly, overweight, greasy, clogged up because of this sort of way government is. Now, there's a lot of talk also about changing the system. I see that the UP had a discussion on the electoral system and wanted it changed. And then I see Scott and Caruso said he would not be taking part in no government or no elections if the electoral system is not changed. And I'm saying to myself, right, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, because When the system is good for you, it's good for you. When it's not good for you, it's not good for you. You are suffering as it is now because an individual with 100 and something votes decide to go independent and government fall. So it's not nice, it's not good. But I say this all the time, especially to the up leadership, the up members of parliament, the up supporters. I say this all the time. The reason why you're out of government is because of your greed. That's why. Because of your greed. That's why you're out of government. You're not out of government because of the system. You're out of government because of your greed. And there was an article in the newspaper one time that calls it sour grapes. And it's absolutely correct. It is sour grapes. And I will repeat myself here over and over many times. Once a Wati or Tio is not involved in something, running this country is not good. It's not good at all. Okay? And then, again, we get the cockroaches come out writing and saying all sort of things. Praise him and thanking him and 1 million crews, this and that. How does it translate to the simple man that's trying to get a vendor's permit? How does it translate to the simple man that want to sell some t-shirts or get his hot dog stand out and about? How does it translate? And you talk about a vision, but it's good to give out land to people who already have been occupying land, causing a division in the country is divisive. But we praise him. Not me. You see? And these are the things that I have to keep coming back here and talking about over and over and over. So, Minister Panflet, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Because I doubt that you're talking about Guinea. All right? I doubt that you're talking about Guinea. I know there was a talk around of getting American Eagle, to hub in St. Martin for $100 million. Many people see it as an investment or a good investment and stuff like that. But I would want to believe that due process, research, and everything has been done concerning that issue. It is always good to get more airlift because it has been proven that airline passengers stay and spend more on the island than cruise passengers. They get guest houses, they get hotels, they buy in our stores, they shop, they rent cars, they go out for dinner and lunch. And 1 million cruise passengers, yes. But again, we need to be focusing and diversifying this economy. All right? Someone brought it to me the other day but you was against the drag strip. No, and the crickets. No. And that's why I encourage you to listen and, review and watch the programs that I do. And I said it here. St. Martin is deserving of a drag strip. St. Martin is deserving of a cricket stadium. Look at the games going on right now. Hundreds and thousands of people watching cricket worldwide. Okay? And I think St. Martin will do very, very well because of our geographical position again when it comes to cricket. That we can host big matches. We just need 1 or 2 2020 matches here in St. Martin, and all our guest houses, all our car rentals, all our restaurants will be full. We are talking about 8,000 to 9,000 people on the island one time. The problem that I have, I don't think the pond should be filled in to host a cricket stadium, to build a cricket stadium. I have a problem with the filling of the pond, and I have a problem with the filling of the pond for anything. And whilst we are doing that, our dump is still in the nasty, filthy stage that it's in. You see? So those are my issues that I have. Those are my issues that I have. And I give out my one of my earlier aspirations as to wanting to get into government, to see that this is a reality and a dream, is our culinary arts school and our language institutions on the island. So those are some of my aspirations as to why, because it's only where power is that these things can come about. And we are talking about the failure of past education commissioners for years, which is number one, our prime minister, for years. The Polytechnic School is 20 something years in the making. And to this date, we have nothing. Okay, we have nothing to this date. I don't understand why we are steaming and rolling ahead with FBE, a project that is failing. You know, our current educational system is not conducive now. Is it working for our young people? And I don't know why. Again, I understand how the system works, but I don't know why those responsible, those in power and position, to say that it's not working, to do something about it. Because we had countries that try it. Is it working in Holland? Is it working in Curacao? Where is FBE working? I think we need to have a serious and truthful discussion on this whole FBE program. And this FBE implementation and the monies that was put aside for FBE, we need to have a serious and truthful discussion on it. All right? It is not working. It is not catering to the need of our youth. And again, the whole system needs to change. The whole derpy, board and burpee and you know, all those things is just a waste of time. All those things are just wasted. You need to create the board of a superintendent that is responsible for schools in certain districts. That's how it's done all over the world. The minister is responsible for education, and she appoints her superintendent for the districts. So you're going to have an individual with a staff responsible for the schools in Middle Region, in Sucker Garden, in Dutch Quarter. One individual with a staff is responsible for all the schools in that area. Then you're going to have another individual responsible for all the schools in the Phillipsburg area, the Phillipsburg district. And the same thing goes for Colby and Simpson Bay. And then you're going to have another individual responsible for South Reward and all the high schools. Break it up. Break it up with a staff. And they answer, that individual, that superintendent answers to the minister. They have a budget to work with. So when something happened in Dutch Quarter, nobody should be calling Burpee, the education board. I still don't like that name, boy. Man, I still don't like that name. Derpy? What it is? Derpy? Burpee. Which one it is? Derpy or Burpee? Derpy. You sure? Derpy, yeah. I still don't like that name. Sound like dummy. Yeah, yeah. I still don't like that name. And you see, it's gonna take an individual with balls to see these things change. It's gonna take someone that has the mental fortitude to say it as it is. Invested in people, putting people in charge. Break it up. Raise up a young individual. All those individuals in the same derpy or whoever it is, give them charge. Not one person is a head of derpy and then they, oh man. Give them charge. You're responsible for this. You are responsible for that. I'm going to hold you as minister accountable for things that are not working in this district. No one should be pointing their finger at the ministry or the minister when something goes wrong in Dutch Quarter, in one of the schools, or something goes wrong in town or cold. No, that is not, no. The minister's role is to set the policies, the rules, the regulations, how things are going to run. The finances comes from the ministry. And then she designated and she spread it out to the different superintendents with their staff. With their staff. That's how things are going to function. That's how things are going to get done, because then you have an individual concentrating and responsible for one area, one district. That's her job. But when you have one individual responsible for all public schools, I mean, come on. Come on. It shouldn't be that way. That's not the way it should work. In my opinion, that's not how it should work. That's not how it should work. You break it up, man. 7 or 6, you break it up. And I could name off qualified and successful individuals now who could be, I could name them off. Okay? You asked me to name one? Just one of them you want to name. One. I have a very good friend, Etienne Brookson. Very, very good young individual. Okay? Yes. I am looking for new people. Okay? Under guidance of the experienced individuals. All right? Well, you want to hear the names like Miss Holiday. You want to hear the names like Miss Bryson Pantaflet. You know, those are the kind of names you want to hear? No. What I think, those individuals are there for experience. They should be on the staff. They should be used for experience. But you need the fresh and young, energetic, the go-getter, the ones who are hungry now to prove their worth to their country. That's what you need. I have a serious issue with education and the whole philosophy of education on St. Martin. I think it's failing. But amongst it all, right, the resilience of our youth, they still triumph. They still climb over all this adversity. They still get over it because of the natural, okay, intellectual capacity within them to succeed. They still move forward. They still get it done amidst it all. So imagine if the program of education, right, is on the comparable level of Barbados, Anguilla. Imagine that. Literacy is in single digits. Whenever you hear about Barbados, you hear about their educational program, their educational plan. Why? Because they invest in people. Not in a building. They invest in people. Okay? And I say it over and over and over. Harvard is not Harvard because of a building. Princeton is not Princeton because of a building. Cambridge is not Cambridge because of a building. Yale is not Yale because of a building. Okay? These institutions are what they are because of the individual that carries out the work that they do, the knowledge that they have of their subject, and their profession is ranked in the top 10 and the top 5 and the top 4 in the world because the institutions invest in getting the best people. That's why. That's why. We could have a FAUCUB as a university. But if we have a renowned this one, a renowned this, and the best this, and the best that, people will come. They're not coming for the building. And this is why I say invest. Invest in people. That's my program for tonight, St. Martin. Thank you guys for tuning in. Take care of yourself. God bless each and every one of you guys. Goodbye.
There was a time when people dare not utter a word. There was a time when people were in the dark and searching for accurate information. Just when all hope is lost and frustration hangs in the balance, XSM Talk emerges and broke the silence. Join host Christopher Emmanuel for live and serious discussions and hard talk.